Hello guys, welcome to Hankins Custom Rifles, another episode of Hank's TV. Today's Sunday, July 22nd. Got a little time to kill, so I thought I'd come in here and do a quick video for you guys on the CVA Scout and the CVA Hunter that I've been doing a lot of conversions on lately. So we're going to start out. I want to show you the CVA Scout. This is the gun right here. This is what it looks like right out of the box. Pretty nice little gun. CVA did a good job when they built this gun. It's got a stainless steel frame, stainless steel barrel. The barrel's made by Bulgaria in Italy, and they do make some pretty good stuff, and these things shoot amazingly accurate. We're shooting 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch groups on a regular basis with this at 100 yards. It breaks down real easy, so if you wanted to take it apart, to pull it apart, you just pull your forearm off, break it in half, pull the barrel off. Now it's easily packaged up in a small case. You can do whatever you want to with it to put it back together. Just the opposite. Hook it in there, forearm back on, and you're ready to go. It's back together. Now the gun comes complete with a muzzle brake on it. Helps a lot because these things have a lot of recoil. So the muzzle brake is really a nice feature that comes with this gun. I'm going to explain to you guys how the primer modules work. So what you're going to get when you buy this gun, you're going to get 25 of these primer modules. And they look like a 4570 shell casing if you're looking at this part of it right here. That's a 4570 dimensions, just like a shell casing. So once you've got the gun loaded, let's say we've already put the gunpowder in, we seated our bullet. Now we're going to put the primer module in place, and you can see that sitting right there just like this. We're going to close the gun. We're going to shoot the gun. Okay, so now we've shot it, and we want to take our primer module out. We just crack this open, and it'll usually fall right out in your hand where you can catch it, or it don't go very far. It's not going to fly out over your head and lose it. These primer modules will last you a lifetime probably if you don't lose them. If you do need extras, I've got plenty. They come, 25 of them do come with the gun, so that should last you a long time. So now let's talk about the loading funnel that comes with this gun. This is a stainless steel loading funnel. It's a precision slip fit through this muzzle brake. There's no wobble, there's no shake, there's no misalignment. It comes down within just a few thousandths of touching the crown of your barrel. So what you do is you're going to pour your gunpowder through the funnel. You're going to put a sized bullet through the funnel. Then you're going to use your ramrod and you're going to seat the bullet. Everything goes through the funnel. Once you're done, you're going to pull the funnel out of the muzzle brake. And that is one reason why you see this lanyard hanging off of the end of the funnel. That way you'll see it and give you a little visual out there in front of you. If for some reason you was to forget, before you pull the trigger, you'll see this little lanyard, or we hope you would anyway. So that pretty much sums up the funnel that comes with the gun. That pretty much sums up the gun. We shoot large rifle magnum primers in these primer modules. Now I've got some guys that are shooting large rifle primers in them, but they're shooting reduced loads of gunpowder, like 50 to about 55 grains would be about as much as I would want to use if I was shooting large rifle primers. If you're going to go over 55 grains, shoot the large rifle magnum primers, and your gun will perform and probably shoot a lot more accurate for you by using the large rifle magnum primers. Now, another thing you might need when you buy this gun is a sizing die. I make these sizing dies. I keep them here in the shop. If you need one of these, you can get it. You can buy it separate. You can buy it with the gun. Whatever you might need. The nut is pretty self-explanatory. You screw this nut down onto the sizing die body. The tighter you squeeze the nut, the more it compresses the bushing that's inside this die body. So as you push your bullet through the die, it compresses the bullet, makes it smaller and smaller each time you make an adjustment. There's a line scribed on one side of the die. The nut has a bunch of little dots around it. That's just for reference, so you can see how much you're turning it. You can turn it one dot at a time if you want to make your adjustments. And it comes with a wrench, and this wrench is for making all your adjustments. So this part of the wrench fits the nut. That's for tightening it. Once you get your setting where you want it, to take it out of the press and put it back in your toolbox or your workbench or whatever, you want to use the open end of this wrench, and it slides right on here, and you'll back that out. You don't want to unscrew it using the top part of the nut, because if you back off this nut any at all, you're going to lose your setting that you had for the proper size of your bullet. And the next time you size bullets, they're not going to fit, and you're going to be back out at the range trying to make adjustments again on your sizing die. So this is for tightening, and this end is for loosening. So that works pretty good. If for some reason you size some bullets that are really hard to size, say like a Hornady XTP or something that's got a thicker jacket on it, and you go to a thinner jacket and you size it and they're too small, you can use this expander ball that comes with the sizing die. You take the top off, completely off, take this nut off, remove it. And you push this expander ball, which is just a little brass slug, you push this all the way through the die, and it will expand the bushing back out to the original size, so that you can start over again sizing a different brand or a different type of bullet. That's what this is for. So it saves you a lot of time. You don't have to send the die back to me to have it fixed or readjusted. Now, the other thing I want to show you is the 3-piece ramrods that we make in the shop. Just about everybody that buys one of the CVA Scouts converted also buys one of these 3-piece ramrods. Works real nice. You just fold it up. You can put it in your pocket. You can put it in your backpack. Whatever you want to do with it. When you need it, you can pull it out. You just drop it, and it's opened again. So now it's ready to use. It comes with an aluminum anodized knob. Now, I used to make these knobs out of stainless steel, but to reduce weight, just a couple of ounces or whatever it reduced, it makes it easier on the guy that's using it. And I made them out of aluminum. I sent them out and had them anodized so they don't turn your hands black. If you use one of these other ones that are made, they've got aluminum knobs or brass knobs. Brass is really bad about turning your hands black. Aluminum's bad about it. But you can use this one all day and push on this knob, and your hand's not going to turn black because it's anodized. These are available on my website for sale separate if you just need a ramrod. So they come in 3 different lengths. Standard, I can build you a custom length rod if you need it. So just let me know on the ramrod what you need there. The bullets for these guns, I'm going to tell you, I highly recommend the Pittman AccuMax bullet, 250 grain or 275 grain bullet. That's what shoots the best out of these CVA converted guns. Here's what them bullets look like. You can get them at www.pittmanbullets.com. Talk to Kyle Pittman. He's the guy that did all the work. He's the guy that did all the research. He's the guy that spent all the money designing these bullet dies. And now that this bullet has been proven as the most accurate muzzle loading bullet that's ever been built for us guys that shoot smokeless muzzle loaders, we've got a couple people that are copying them, and now they're trying to sell them, and they're selling them for a couple dollars cheaper, 100 or a few cents cheaper per bullet if you look at it that way. But we really need to support the people that did the work and the development on these things, and send your money to Kyle Pittman. He'll definitely take care of you. But these are now being made and sold, what I want to call, on the black market. So support the guy that really did the work with these bullets and buy them from Kyle Pittman. And that's really about all I can tell you about the CVA Scout. We're going to move the Scout over, and we're going to talk about the CVA Hunter. The CVA Hunter is a really nice gun, except it does not break down like the CVA Scout. The forearm is screwed to the bottom of the barrel. It's got a hinge pin in it, so you have to knock the hinge pin out in order to break the barrel down. It's not a big deal, it's just a little extra work. You can't do it real easy out in the field. And it is blued. It does not come with a muzzle brake, so that saves a little bit of money there. This gun right here is the absolute most inexpensive way to get into smokeless muzzle loading. If you're a guy that just needs a gun to hunt a couple of days a year with, you don't want to mess around with the old black powder and the black powder substitutes and all the smoke and the corrosion and having to clean the gun as soon as you shoot it, get this gun right here. I'll convert it for you, and you can have a gun to shoot smokeless powder and muzzle load hunt with it. So this gun has what we call the direct ignition system in it. And that is also available in the CVA Scout. The 4570 module system is also available in the CVA Hunter, but I got both systems. I'm going to show you one of them in each gun. Pretty easy. If you can see right here, we've got a little bolt screwed in the back of this breech plug. That is your ignition module. There's not a primer in there right now, but we're going to take this bolt out. Now I'm going to show you how it looks, what it looks like. It's a little 5/16 24 threaded bolt. It's got a 12-point socket head on it. This is a grade 9 aircraft steel bolt. It's got a 1/2 inch of threads, which means you have to thread it in. You have to turn it 12 times. So you're going to put a primer in this primer pocket. The primer pockets have been machined or deburred real nice. They got a little lead-in chamfer on it, makes the primers go in. They don't get all cockeyed and crooked, which I have seen some do on some other primer modules. So we just put these in here. You screw that in a couple turns. You carry a little nut driver, or the guys that come to the Kentucky Challenge, a lot of them are using an electric screwdriver, so they can just stick it in there, hit the button in, backs it out, hit the other button, it puts it back in. But it's actually pretty convenient. It doesn't take that much longer really to prime it. And that's as tight as it needs to be. You just turn it in until it stops turning, give it a little tweak, and that's all you need. So now your gun is loaded. Let's pretend we've put our gunpowder in, our bullets in there, we shoot the gun, and you open it back up. You unscrew your spent primer module. Take it out. Now we're going to take another live primer module. We're going to screw it back in. So let's pretend that we've done that. We screw our live primer back in. You're going to close it, and you're going to load the gun again. As long as you don't pull the hammer back, you're perfectly safe loading on top of the live primer module, because it won't go off. It's just like loading a handgun cartridge or a rifle cartridge in your reloading press. The primers are already in there, gunpowder's in there, you put the bullet on top of it, it won't go off. So let's see, what else do I need to tell you about these here guns? Velocity on these guns. We're going to get about 2,500 to 2,600 feet per second shooting the 250 grain to 275 grain Pittman AccuMax. You can shoot other bullets out of them, but they're not going to be nearly as accurate as the Pittman AccuMax. These bullets were designed for the smokeless muzzle loaders. This one also comes with the Durasight already mounted on here. All you need is a 1-inch scope tube and just mount it right in that there mount, and you're ready to go to the woods. Okay guys, one thing I forgot to mention there earlier, so I jumped back in the video. I wanted to let you know that either one of these guns that you buy, whether you buy the CVA Hunter or the CVA Scout, they are both available with either one of these ignition systems that we just talked about. So if you want the direct ignition in the CVA Scout, we can do that. If you want the 4570 ignition in the CVA Scout, we can do that. If you want the direct ignition or the 4570 ignition in the CVA Hunter, we can do that. And if you do go with the direct ignition system, I've got these stainless steel shell holders that I've made. These are made out of solid stainless steel. We used to make them out of aluminum, but we learned real fast that the aluminum is just not strong enough to hold up to the abuse that they're going to be put through to put the primers in and out of these primer modules. So to use a stainless steel shell holder, it's just like any other shell holder for a rifle case, except it's a lot taller because we have a lot bigger head on here. You're actually holding on to the rim, so to speak, of this little miniature cartridge case. and this will slip right into your RCBS press. It'll fit in your Hornady press, it'll fit in Lee press, Redding, Forester. They're universal, they're going to fit in everybody's press, they're all made the same. And you simply slide the shell in there, or the primer module, which is what this is, and you put your primer in, your little primer arm, and you pull your ram down, and that puts your primer in. You pull it back up, pull this out, put another one in, prime it, and to deprime it, we got a little hammer, decapping stand, and a punch kit that is also listed on my website for sale. You can add that to the purchase and get that with the kit as if you need it. A lot of guys don't need it. They might already have something that would work, so if you don't need it, you don't have to buy it. But to knock the primer out, you simply take a little punch, 1/16 of an inch punch, knock the primer out with a small hammer. You will notice that the hole that I drill through the middle of my primer modules is 81 thousandths in diameter versus the other guys that are drilling 100 thousandths. The problem with a 100 thousandths hole is it is so big that it allows a lot of gunpowder to go down into the primer module. And what happens is it creates an excessive pressure point, and it will swell your primers. It could blow your primers. So you have to come up with a way to keep your primer module from filling up with gunpowder. Some people will put a piece of paper across the end here. You can plug that hole with a piece of pocket lint or whatever you want to do, but then you have to worry about the primer modules or your primers not working correctly. So if you just go with my system, you don't have to worry about that. And I'll tell you the reason they drill with a 100 thousandths drill bit instead of an 81 thousandths drill bit is because these primer bolts are so hard that it takes a lot of work to drill a hole. The bigger the drill bit, the longer it'll last. It ain't gonna break off and snap on you. You have to drill really, really slow with a little 80 thousandths drill bit. But I drill these in a CNC machine, and I drill a bunch of them at one time. I don't just drill one part. I'm doing this in a CNC milling machine, and I can make these parts real effective and real easy. I also make these in-house. So when you need this stuff, you got it. I've got plenty of them in stock. If you've got an aluminum shell holder out there that I've made, send it back to me and I'll replace it free of charge with one of the stainless steel ones. You can't beat service like that. So if you need a stainless steel one and you have an aluminum, send me the old one back and I'll give you a brand new stainless steel shell holder. Other than that, guys, I think I pretty much covered everything on these guns. I just wanted to jump back in here real fast, show you the shell holders that I got made, tell you a little bit about the primer modules, and that's it. So, okay guys, I knew I was leaving out something on this here CVA Scout with the screw-in modules. The screw-in modules, I think I can show you better by showing you this plug right here. I'll get a module. The gun also comes with 25 primer modules, so when you buy the gun, you're going to get 25 of these screw-in primer modules. There again, you can go to the range. You should have plenty of shots to get your gun sighted in and play around with it some. But let's look at this breech plug. This is a little short breech plug. It's 9/16 24 thread. That's the strongest breech plug on the market for these conversions. It's short, easy to work with, and this end is threaded. There's no tungsten bushing in here. That's just one great big hole all the way through. I don't know if you can see through there or not, but that's just one hole all the way through it. No tungsten bushings, no set screws, and it's a really good ignition system. It works great in cold weather. You're never going to have a problem with this not going off. The 4570 primer module system, that breech plug uses a tungsten bushing with an 0.35 thousandths hole in it. You're not ever going to have a problem with it going off either, but these are a little bit more convenient for loading and unloading. It's a little bit quicker for you. You do not have to load on a live primer. You can load with no primer in there, and it's not going to, the gunpowder is not going to fall through the plug. If you load the gun with this plug without a module screwed in place, the gunpowder is going to fall out. Now I do have some modules made with no holes drilled in them, so you can carry a dummy module in there if you need to. If your state requires your gun to be transported in what they call an unloaded fashion, you can put in a dummy module so there's no primer even in the screw itself. So guys, to wrap all this up, I think I went over everything you need here that you would possibly need. If you're interested in one of these guns, look them up on my website at www.hankinscustomrifles.com to get the current sale price on these. I'm not going to tell you what I'm selling them for today because that price is liable to change in a couple of months. Everything goes up. This video will be on YouTube for years to come. And as long as they're making these guns, I'll keep selling them. I'll keep converting them. If you've already got one of these guns, you can send me the barrel and I'll convert it for you. If you don't have a gun, you want to buy the thing complete from me, you'll need to send me a copy of your FFL or an FFL that I can send the rifle to. You go down there and pick it up from him, do the paperwork, and the gun is yours. So for current pricing, visit my website at www.hankinscustomrifles.com. Join Hank's message board for more information on these guns, and definitely support Pittman Bullets at www.pittmanbullets.com and buy the best that you can buy and never second guess yourself. Till the next time, guys, have a great day. Give me a thumbs up on the video, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.